Everyone who I've said that I'm gonna have a sit down with you has said that you'll be great because you don't give a shit. He's got opinions and he's not afraid to share them.
Yeah, that's me. It's so good.
One more episode of Bar Talks, unchilled, unfiltered,
Sure.
unscripted.
Definitely.
There's no...
I forgot my script.
Shit, can you read the fucking teleprompter?
Where is... Oh, pasta.
Scroll. Bar Talks. I am here with Sebastian Cosmo Soto, also known as Cosmo.
Cosmo. Big puppy.
Big,
there's a lot. What's a nickname?
Carry on.
AKA.
AKA 10 daiquiris deep. AKA Bench Press 350.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots. Yeah.
Chicks with dicks.
Yeah, that one especially.
We are in Double Deuce Lounge.
Correct.
Which is here in Sydney.
Yes.
I don't ever come here, so I have no idea what area we're in. I don't know what it means.
Uptown.
Uptown?
I call it Uptown.
We're here with the financial district people that apparently don't drink.
Well, not enough. You'd think they would. Yeah.
Everyone who I've said that I'm gonna have a sit down with you has said that you'll be great because you don't give a shit.
It's kind of true.
I'm just gonna...
Well, yeah.
He's got opinions and he's not afraid to share them.
No. What are you gonna do about it?
Exactly. Have you seen me? Have you seen me?
Are you gonna like not come to my bar? Like, okay, fine,
you fucking loser.
You don't like me. I don't want you in my bar. Fuck.
I'll see you next week.
Yeah, exactly. See you next Tuesday.
Love you, Cosmo. Just battered. I think that the people need to know how long it takes to get that amazing haircut done every single day. That is crucial information.
Well, this is genetics.
What are your genetics?
My father's Costa Rican. My mum's like a Viking Australian. Yeah, she was a
Viking
Australian kayak champion who qualified for the '72 Olympics. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. She was like the best in Australia.
I heard there's here the distilling laws are fairly fresh, right?
Yes, they were the first Sydney distillery in like 100 and something years.
Because a bunch of shit I've heard about, so you're gonna be my myth buster.
Gotcha.
So there was a rum rebellion in Australia?
Yeah. They were using rum as currency. Like
What?
early days, colonial Australia. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They were using rum as currency. I don't know the whole thing, I'm not a historian, but you know, I'll make it up anyway. Yeah. They
We're gonna make that alternative history, drunk history.
Drunk history, yeah. Yeah, and they were using rum for currency, and you got to think about it. Like, it was mostly men at this time, or convicts.
Yeah.
There was female convicts too, but mostly male convicts, and then a bunch of soldiers, and then like the English elite that were like the governors.
Yeah.
So it was like mostly dudes just getting pissed and like building a
Whatever.
colony. Yeah, essentially, yeah. So
And just
yeah,
rum.
and there was a rum rebellion. I don't know much about it, but there was. Yeah.
I love how you said you're gonna make up an epic story, and then just
drop it.
Just dropped what might have been happening.
Correct, yeah.
I always get when people are strong, because the problem is, so you were always speaking about kayaking earlier.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I did rowing in Scotland, and back then I was like much top bigger.
Yeah.
And then I stopped bartending as well, because you'd be surprised now. Guess bartender problems when you actually have a busy shift and you're dumb enough to put shaken drinks on the menu. And
You're gonna learn that the hard way. You're gonna learn that the hard way. Oh man.
I got a.
Unless it's a quota that you're only doing 100 drinks. Okay, I can shake that.
I did a guest shift recently, get part of that Portugal trip, and it was super busy. And I had like 3 stir drinks of a 5-drink menu, and I got a blister the next day from stirring. How quickly do you eat? Are you a fast eater?
Yeah.
I have this problem that even though I haven't been working in the industry, like operations, for years, I inhale food. I can't get over that whole, you have a short break.
No.
You fucking need to eat
now.
super, that's it.
That's it.
My wife hates it.
Yeah. Like on my breaks here, like I'll take a break, and the break means I'm going next door to Bistecca and having a couple beers, a couple of
It's good
shots.
steakhouse,
Oh,
no?
it's the best. It's the best. It's my favorite in Sydney. Yeah, real Italian, Florentine style. Anyway, we go there and we sit at the bar and it's a quiet drink and you have a couple drinks. But then like later, you know, if someone's like, oh, can I eat? yeah, because I know you're going to take 5 minutes. You're not going to be out there for half an hour eating like a normal person.
Yeah.
No, we're like, you know, and then you come back.
And then you're sitting there like, oh my God,
Fernet, please. Maybe that's why Fernet's so big with bartenders, because we don't eat like normal people.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
So, do you get a lot of people trying to get a job with you that are not from Australia? You get like messages and shit?
No.
Not a lot?
Really, no.
But when you're traveling around, you said this, the Costa Rican girl was like, people are like, hey,
But I think that's more the Argentinian girl was probably, she used to live here. She was more desperate to come back to Australia.
Right.
Yeah.
But one of the things that very often I have bartenders who ask me, where's a good place to move? Where's a good place to get a job and whatever? And I always say that I feel like Australia might be, from an outsider's perspective, a great place to work.
Yeah, on
in
paper, it's
hospitality.
fantastic.
So,
Yeah.
can you break down for me, in Sydney's, because Sydney's different, right, than Melbourne or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How does it work here? Because I've heard things like the minimum wage is pretty fucking good.
That's right.
There's like special rules, so like if you work weekends, it's like time and a half or
Yep.
something. So would you mind just taking?
Yeah. Look, as far as I know, anyway, the general base salary is really good. It's above $20, right? So it's 20. I can't remember exactly. It's changed
More or
recently.
less,
More or less, it's around 20.
That's the minimum wage.
Yeah, minimum wage.
$24 Australian dollars an hour.
So that would be like, I don't know, 18 American.
But that's fine. 24 Australian dollars an hour is the minimum wage.
Yeah.
Right, cool. More or less.
More or less, yeah.
But and a cocktail costs.
A cocktail costs about the same.
Right.
So anywhere from like 22 to 27, depends where you go. Some places more, it depends. Maybe if there's a nicer whiskey in there or something, it might cost more.
But is it an Archie Rose dive bar? Get yours now at 555-333-444. No, but what I mean was like, what's the?
But yeah, there's like
the minimum.
Saturdays. There's like I think it's 1.25, and Sundays is 1.5 times.
Right.
So you're talking like $40 an hour on Sundays, or almost $40 an hour on Sundays.
And that's part of the law.
That's law. Public holidays, like we've got one coming up next week. These are for casual people, right? As well, casual workers.
What
Double
the fuck's a
time.
casual worker?
Casual workers are people that don't work full time.
Part-timers.
Part-timers. Yeah, part-timers, but like there's also part-time as well, which makes it even more complicated.
Okay.
But casuals are people that you might have 2 or 3 days a week, right? Whereas my team is really small here at Double Deuce, so I got them all on full-time, which means they all get 4 weeks of paid holidays.
Yep.
They all get 10 days sick day. Yeah, so that works out. I think like, and we gave them a salary instead of paying them per hour.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so they get paid really well. Yeah, and it's a great place if you want to like have a pretty easy lifestyle. Like you're only supposed to work 38 hours a week.
Okay, so there's these other rules.
That's another one. Yeah, 38 hours a week, but you know, you take breaks and stuff. So maybe like there's like another rule that comes in like a gray area that's like reasonable hour difference. So you might sometimes work 35, sometimes you might work 45, as long as it averages out
Variation,
to
right.
38, right?
And overtime?
Yeah, overtime too.
What is it? Does that change or is
That
it still?
you get, I think you get double. Yeah, you get double.
So it's double rate for overtime.
Yeah.
So,
or 1.5 or something like that. Yeah.
but that sounds great.
It is great. Yeah. But the thing in Sydney, it's really expensive. So your rent is gonna be. They just said it just went up the highest it's ever been in 19 years this week, and it's like average I think $700 a week in Sydney.
A week?
Yeah, a week. $700.
You get paid weekly here?
Yeah, no, you pay it monthly, but like generally, like we just talk about it as a week. Like in the US, I know they talk about it monthly. Like, I'll pay $2,200 a month, right? Here, you'd be paying $3,000 a month, roughly.
That's
That's
crazy.
average.
Shit, man. I didn't realize it was.
That's the kicker. So Sydney, Australia will like look after you, and you get paid really well, and the employers have responsibility for you, but the landlords are killing it. So.
My parents were my role models.
Yeah, cool. No, I mean, I didn't grow up with my father, so I mean, he was absentee, he was around. But I definitely took role models in different areas. Yeah, and I think I still do, like to some degree. You know, I might take this person here for this reason, I might take this person's thing for this reason, and like mold myself around
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I mean, I didn't have to just go off one guy. I think it's almost better because I get to choose. who I want my male role models to be.
So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
top 3? Or like a memory, like a particular role model memory that you have, like something that you took from someone or...
Yeah, like, I mean, I always played sports and stuff when I was younger, so there was like coaches, but it was like, even my uncle was some parts of it, and he's not a perfect guy at all. He was in hospitality. And so, you know, I definitely looked up to him.
So what did, like, but
to some
you...
degree, because I was working for him too, so yeah.
Oh, you worked
That
for
was
your
how I
uncle?
got into the industry.
What did your uncle, did he have a place or?
Yeah, he had, there used to be a Spanish Quarter in Sydney, on
yeah?
Liverpool Street, so like just off George Street, like in the middle of the city. And yeah, he had this place called La Campana, and La Campana was like a cabaret, restaurant, bar, nightclub. Yeah,
Bit of everything.
Huge place. as well,
massive,
right?
eh?
Yeah, huge. He had this place, and it was, we did this thing in Australia called work experience, right? So you're in,
we have the same thing.
grade 10, year 10, and you got to go work somewhere for free for a week in something you're interested in,
I
right?
did theatre.
There you go. I can see that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, you're a theatrical guy. Yeah.
Some glitter.
Sour face.
I've just got glitter in my pocket the entire time.
Face. And yeah, glitter all the time. But no, I wanted to be a writer when I was younger, and then my sister put me in touch with a guy, with one of her friends, who worked for a magazine. And I probably would have just been getting coffees all the time and probably hated it anyway. Anyway, and then the night before I was supposed to do it, she called me and she said, "Oh, it's pulled out. Like the editor's son wants to do it, and he's your age."
Nepotism is
Yeah,
great.
100%, something like that. You know, like some bullshit. I was like, "Fuck, what do I do?" And Mum, what do I do? Fuck. She goes, "Call your uncle. He owns a bar, restaurant, nightclub. He's gonna want some free help."
No,
So my mum goes, "Why don't you call your uncle? He's got this place. You know, he's gonna want free help for a week.
Yeah, of
he's
course.
probably just gonna make you do all these shitty jobs, but like it's something, and you
You can
won't get
always
in trouble
find
at school,
something
right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, perfect. Call him." He's like, "Yeah, of course. What, you just come here and work for free for a week?" He's like, "Yeah, pretty much. And then you're just gonna sign some papers for school." He's like, "Oh yeah, easy, great." I'm like, "Okay, cool." He's like, I don't come in on Mondays, so come in on Tuesday." I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then he's like, I'm like, "What time Tuesday?" He's like, "Oh, midday." I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" What? I love this
You were like,
industry.
"I'm gonna have a
I'm
great-"
hooked already. Yeah. And then like, I get in there, and then he's like, "All right, clean this bottom of the fridge. It hasn't been cleaned in 20 years because the place was like at least 30 years old at
Oh,
this point.
super
And
old, eh?
this fridge had not been cleaned. It was like disgusting. Anyways, but like, don't drink any booze.
How old were you?
16. 15, 16? Yeah. And he's like, "But you can have as much like fountain drink as you want." And it was back when they had the fountain thing. And, like,
Oh,
so they bang.
right.
No, not even the gun, like on the thing, like you're at the cinema. And I was like, "Oh, Macca's or something." I was like, "This is the best."
Sugared up to
So
shit.
I had like 8 Coca Colas the first day. I was like, "Oh, I'm like buzzing. Like, this is the best." And yeah, and then at the end of the week, he got me to do these shitty jobs, but I met all these cool people. And then he's like, he got me to do a bit of everything. And then at the end of the week, he's like, "Hey, you want a job?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like,
No
"You come
way.
in on like Saturday afternoons and take the deliveries and set up the restaurant, set up the bars." And so I was doing like, yeah, mise en place as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old
That's amazing.
in a massive bar nightclub.
And that's legal in Australia? You can do that?
Yeah, because I wasn't serving.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Scotland has similar laws. You can, as long as you're not touching the alcohol,
No, I
you
wasn't.
can do whatever.
Yeah, I was putting it in
you can work
fridges,
it.
but I wasn't opening it. I wasn't serving.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah.
you
And then
have-
like after that, I worked
You have
for
a
him.
little...
Every now and then. Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, I wonder what Sambuca tastes like."
So you started working for your...
Yeah, I started working for my uncle, and then I was like, after doing that for a couple of years, I was like, maybe this is what I do. I just stay in this industry. And like, I was like, I love him, but he's a bit of an idiot. And if he
Your
can
uncle?
do it,
Oh, yeah.
I can definitely do it. And I'm like, and now I'm doing it, right? Yeah.
So what
So,
time
yeah.
did you... When did you have that thought? What was the moment you...
When I was like 17, yeah, like halfway through my tenure there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I could do this." Doesn't seem that difficult.
Ramblin' Rascal was the first place.
Yeah, our first place, yeah.
For clarity, there's 3 people in this company. I guess this is you.
Yeah, the good-looking one.
So Charlie...
Charlie,
Cosmo, and...
Darden.
Darden. If there's any ad break, 3 cents is called 3 cents because there's 3 guys as well, 3 bartenders, and the reason it's called 3 cents is because they read in a book somewhere, like it's an old like soda fountain book, soda jerks. They were like a plain soda was 2 cents and a flavored one was 3 cents.
Oh.
In like the 18 whatever's.
Sure.
Where the soda fountains were a thing.
Right.
So that's why they called it like, there's 3 of us, there's a lot of like symbolism here. It's a soda, which is flavored, so it's 3 cents and that's, and there's 3 of you. Hey.
There you go.
How old is Ramblin' Rascal?
10 years old. We just had our 10-year anniversary last week.
Fuck.
I'm still recovering.
I'd heard that there was these laws in Australia where you couldn't open a small bar. It had to have at least like 150 seats or something to open a venue back in the day, and then they changed that law.
Okay, so what happened was, I think it was 14 and a half years ago, so like 15, so let's say 15 years ago. And Sydney at the time had like lots of nightclubs, lots of pubs, big boozer sort of nightclub pubs / things.
Yep.
And then it had like restaurant bars. So all the good cocktail bars working in like those sort of / bar nightclubs or restaurant bars. There was no small bars, like dedicated bars like we're sitting in right now.
Yep.
Our mayor, Clover Moore, her name is, and she's been the mayor for like 20-something years. But she came in with a law saying, I want Sydney to be more European, I want Sydney to be more Melbourne, and because Melbourne always had the small bars and was more easygoing with their laws. And she brought in a law that took, if you want to have a bar that's under 120 capacity, you can apply for a small bar license.
Right.
And the small bar license was, instead of $40,000, which used to be for a license, it's $400. So that changed Sydney completely, because then you had bars like Shady Pines open up, which is still going. You had the Pocket Bar,
I love Shady Pines.
Pocket Bar and Grandma's and a bunch of these guys who are still going. Like these groups are still going. Like Shady Pines is owned by Schoolhouse, and then Schoolhouse opened. They've got like
Caterpillar
7
Club
venues. They just opened Caterpillar Club. But how it happened was, and I think I call it the Shady Pines University, right? So Shady Pines opened, right?
Yeah.
The first alma mater, right? So the first one opened, then they opened Baxter, 2 of their managers at Shady Pines when it opened Tio's. And those guys are the Mucho group who have Bar Planet, they have Cantina OK, they have Cliff Dive, and they have a new one called Century 86. So that's one on the tree, and then another guy, Passan, who was the general manager of Shady Pines, went and opened his own bar in Newtown called Earl's. Great bar. And then Earl's, Jacoby's, and now he's just opened 2 new ones called Trocadero and the Magpie. And then we opened Rascal, and then we opened Double Deuce.
You were Shady Pines as well.
This is all like the Shady Pines tree, or the Shady Pines University, because they opened 15 years ago, 14 years ago. All these other bars happened because we were managers.
Are you still mates
from Shady Pines and Baxter Inn?
Are you still mates with all of them?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Did they invest here?
No, they didn't invest with us originally when we opened Rascal. But they did. They said, look, because they just opened Frankie's at the time, just closed last year.
Oh, I've been there. I managed to get there before.
Oh, good. We just walked past it. It was a big fucking construction site. Yeah.
It was massive.
Yeah.
Didn't they like make a big deal out of it on socials? They're like fucking
huge. Yeah.
I think they made like the most money they've ever made of that place because it was closing.
Yeah, I always say this to Sam Bygrave, I'm like, the most money you ever make in Sydney is your first day and your last day. Yeah.
Fuck, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Frank, I was in there. It's actually, I had pizza and everything. I was fucking glued. It's massive. Way bigger than I thought it would be.
It's huge. It's three bars in one, really.
Right, and when the way they made it out, it was like almost like a dive bar, a small little place you could pop into.
Yeah.
That was fucking massive.
Yeah.
It's really cool to hear this because again, like I was saying, I've never been here, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's I always said like to a bunch of bar owners, because I've worked for a few people, I'm going like, why don't you invest in your staff? Why are you always trying to create new concepts? Why don't you go to somebody who works for you who's super passionate, the person you want to keep within your your system, and go like, cool, I'm gonna invest in you. I'm gonna help. Everything I've learned about bars, I'm gonna invest in you, and I'm gonna keep you within our triangle.
I think it's genius. If I had the money, I would totally do that. Yeah.
I've got a mate who owns a bar around the corner from Paradiso in Barcelona. When Paradiso won best bar in the world, Luca's revenue, annual revenue increased by 15%.
15.
15,
Pretty good.
because the queue was so big.
Pretty good.
A lot of people in the queue were like, we're not waiting an hour, cocktail bar,
No.
and his bar is a cocktail bar around the corner, like literally 100 meters. So just revenue went up.
Great.
And he turned around, he's like, I just want to open places next to 50 best bars.
That's fucking genius.
Fuck,
Yeah,
fuck,
100%.
fuck trying to.
Yeah, we don't even have to. You can just open dive bars, and it's fantastic.
Just
You know,
next to
I was in Portland, and this is where my wife's from, and then I went to this really good restaurant there called Le Pigeon, and Le Pigeon is like a James Beard winner and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And they do this thing where like you don't tip, you just they pay their staff properly, which is weird in America.
In America, that's one of the things.
Really weird. Yeah. And they just add it to the bill, like fine. But we got there early, and I was like, I didn't really know about the place. I thought there might be a bar there. They're like, no, go next door. There's a dive bar there, and then come back in half an hour. We'll call you. Great. Go next door. You go to the bar, and I was in America, so I was like, oh yeah, cool. I only get an opportunity to like have a high life every now and then because they don't have it.
Yeah,
here.
they don't have it.
Right?
Here,
Yeah, they don't have it outside of America, right? And so I was like, oh, can I get a tequila and soda for my wife, and then can I get a high life? And the bartender is like full like rock and roll, like long hair, white guy, like leather and shit, and he's like, nah, bro, we don't serve that. That's a Trump beer. And I was like,
What?
and I was like, I'm just gonna turn the Australian on. I'm like, oh mate, I don't even know. I'm from Australia. And he's like, oh. And like his face went like, it was the best. I was like, hey man, I'm with you. Like it's cool.
He was trying to throw
you.
you.
Don't have it. It's fine. Just say you don't have it.
High Life is a Trump beer?
No, I don't know. Like Miller or something like donated money to the Republicans. I don't fucking care.
Well, Chick-fil-A
Like,
apparently
whatever.
is homophobic.
Yeah, because they're Christians and stuff, and they don't open on Sundays.
You know the guy who owns Marriott is a Mormon?
Yeah, really.
So
Does he know what people get up to?
So years and years and years ago,
People cheating on their wives all the time.
have you heard about this thing? It's called, is it edging? No, it's soaking.
Soaking. Oh,
You've heard of soaking, haven't you?
It's, explain this to all your female followers, please.
So soaking is when a Mormon guy who's got a hard-on and a Mormon female who's ready to go.
Yeah.
They're next to each other. They're like tip to tip, and a friend of theirs jumps on the bed or right? Is that right? He moves the bed.
Oh, that's so much weirder.
So they're
not
having sex.
Oh my God.
Because they're not doing the act. The act is
But
being,
what's happening? Is it?
the result is sex,
Oh, that's.
but they're not breaking the rules.
He just fell in.
Right?
There.
It might,
I fell in.
That's soaking, right?
Is that what he's saying? Like they fell. Oh my God.
So they have the sex, but someone else is moving.
Next time anyone knocks on my door, or if I see any of those guys in the street, I'm gonna ask them what soaking is. I'm gonna do it. Oh man, I'm definitely gonna do that.
I feel like it's pretty fucking weird. Like
That's so
Cali
weird.
Chud is weird, but they're like legacy weird.
This is like kinky weird, man. That's fucking amazing. Like,
But imagine like you can be a wingman, but you can be a soaking man. Like you are the soaking buddy. Like you're
jump harder.
Imagine your LinkedIn is like, I'm really good at soaking.
Fuck, man.
I was watching
Or like you're at church and they're like, you know who's good at soaking? MJ.
like
He jumps really well.
Yo,
He'll help you and your girlfriend out.
imagine you probably have a range. You have
man.
like the very, very like follow the rules moments, and you
Yeah.
have the dangerous moments. And like one of them is just tempted. He's like, hey, do you know anyone who's like good at soaking? You're like, and there's someone
Yeah.
of my mind. You know, like it has to
Yeah.
be like discreet
Yeah.
and like no soaking in my community. I think we'll end with the Mormon guy. The guy who owns Marriott is a Mormon. The only reason I know that is because years ago we were potentially going to work with Marriott. So we flew into Maryland. We went to their headquarters, which is like 4,000 people in this building.
Oh, wow.
Fucking massive. And they have
They all dress like Mormons?
no.
That would be great.
There's a whole floor which is like, you think you know toys in the bar industry because you watch Remy's, whatever the fuck. No, these guys have a floor which is all of their training, all of their content, all this other shit. And apparently, like alcohol is like 20% of all of their revenue. which is a significant amount of their revenue, right? All these deals with all these brands.
Sure, yeah.
But he avoids that floor, so he has his own elevator, which
Right.
that floor is, he can't stop at that floor because alcohol is not good.
Yeah.
And Mormons don't accept it. So he, even though they make a shit ton of money from alcohol collabs, they do not, he has his own elevator to avoid that floor because he doesn't want to be around the sin, the smut.
But he's making money out of it. It's fucking hypocritical.
Soaking.
It's stupid. It's still sex. Yeah, exactly. It's so stupid.
It's soaking, man. This has been my new series called Chaos and Shots with Sebastian Cosmo Soto.
It's not bar talks anymore.
It's just fucking nightmares and whiskey. And next year we're going to be sponsored by Glenfiddich for 50K, and we're going to be covering gold leaf.
Gold. Yeah, you think this is enough? No way. Way more gold. I'm going to be like Mr. T next to, yeah. Thanks, Ross.
This has been Bar Talks. Unchilled, unfiltered, and apparently fact.
The drinks are chilled.
With fancy ice.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Should we do? I feel like we have to record an episode 2 at some point.
Okay. Yeah, next time in full gold.
This was Bar Talks
Cool.
/chaos /dive by whiskey /3 cents /whatever slash golden oldie Glenfiddich. I've got a seminar in half an hour. I love you all. MJ, never dry out. Love you.
Stay soaking.
Stay soaky, baby. Stay moist. Stay moist.